How's it going, everyone? It is Liam Catterson here with another episode of iZombie. We're on episode 3 of season 4. Excited to continue this season, which has been pretty great so far. Of course, with our focus of the humans now knowing that zombies exist and whatnot, it's been a very interesting first 2 episodes to see how everyone has been adjusting, as well as, you know, certain groups beginning to rise, like the group that Angus is making, and of course there are conflicts going on. Like in the last episode, we had a bit of a conflict between Liv and Major, so yeah, as well as the fact that Liv was contending with a brain that wasn't really a fan favourite for quite a few characters that were hanging around with her. So yeah, but it's been a very great first couple of episodes so far, so I'm looking forward to seeing what is going to happen in this episode. So with that said, let's get into episode 3 of season 4 for iZombie. Let's go. That's very devastating to look at. Oh, you just bribe your way in. Good choice, good choice.
Whoever did this was acting fast and loose as one hell of a bone saw.
But the murder was so clean. Why was the brain robbing such a mess?
It could have been different culprits. One guy's whack is another's snack.
Ready to have your minds blown?
Yeah, too soon. Too soon.
Oh, come
on.
Bro.
Yeah. I got an idea on
So these two can make a joke, but not Clive.
Annie Wallace.
Did my heart love till now? Forswear its sight.
Is this a brain that is very romanticized?
Was that a vision?
Yes, he is.
Oh my goodness.
Is this
It
about
was
Annie?
in a
She
sense.
tried to cross in Seattle, didn't she?
Why don't you take a seat, Alan?
She did. And Annie sees
Saw
that.
that. Oh my goodness, I guess we're just finishing each other's sentences.
Sandwiches. Yeah.
Looking at these texts, you've been planning your wedding, your honeymoon, your kids' names.
What?
Even though you've only known each other for a month and
Yeah, it's moving a bit fast, isn't it?
Crazy that sounds. No.
Oh, buddy.
No!
Shit. Woof.
Why don't we take 5?
I really did love her.
Graves is listed as a defendant.
Well, good luck with that. I'm more concerned with the extra mouth I have to feed.
There's also a video.
Yeah.
She scratched him in rage mode.
You might not like this.
In uniform.
Very damaging for the company.
Not yet.
Notice, fewer humans than we expected are donating their brains. And those brains that do come our way, too many are falling off the trucks.
How long do we have?
4 to 6 months.
This was always going to be
That's when we'll start seeing mass
difficult
starvation.
scenario.
Zombies turning.
Preventing starvation.
Look.
You bring me Renegade, you can go back to running your establishments in peace.
Ooh.
And I'd never have to deal with you ever again?
Consider it your final favor.
Consider it done.
Flicking at the lips of this proposal. Exactly.
I'm just kidding. It hasn't kicked in yet. But I do love mimes. That's good blue brain material. What else
He
is
was
good?
just getting in the spirit.
Bring me that guy, and you can add 2 zeros to whatever you just charged us. Hey, sure thing, boss. Oh, dog.
Very pivotal for
I don't care if the Sultan of Malaysia's having a bar mitzvah. You never, and I mean never, go to the dome before us.
That's a betrayal, buddy. Damn, Rob! Kill it. Yeah, there you go. He's killing it. See, everyone would be swooning over Rob. Oh my, no. Oh my.
video. Plus, we're in a fight, so I'm gonna go make myself a burrito.
Not where I was expecting the conversation
He
to...
is so brave.
Very.
You've met him once.
Uh-huh.
He's human.
Uh-huh.
And he probably murdered his last girlfriend.
Maybe.
Perfect.
Oh, right, right. You know, that excuses him completely.
Look at Blythe and Casio. You know, I'd rather... Robbie, show her.
Someone's had a bit.
See? This robot is the biggest loser here.
I was a robot?
Oh, he's finally... Ooh. Uh-oh. Ooh. Oh, shoot.
I'm sorry.
You okay?
Oh, no.
Just like that, I was shot with Cupid's
For
arrow.
crying out loud.
Again.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna take his
It's
face
like
off.
watching R2-D2 stick his extension arm into the Grand Canyon.
Sick robot callback.
Oh.
Just for her, I even stopped by her place and she's not answering, so that's a no-go.
Well, I, on the other hand, found out something interesting. Looks like Alan forgot to mention that he's a pretty avid gun collector. He even moonlights as a shooting instructor on the weekends.
Who's Alan?
Oh, for crying out loud.
The guy you were in love with yesterday? This guy?
It was just a
Oh,
phase.
right. Daniel Cleaver posing as a Mark Darcy. The worst.
Glad to hear you moved on.
Tim is the talk of the
Ballistics
town
should
now.
have a report for us by tomorrow morning with weapon matches from the bullets. I'm anxious to see if they match any one of Alan's sundry guns.
Who's that?
Oh, wait.
I knew you.
I work in the morgue, and Clive is originally from Brooklyn. He has an older sister who he's very close with, and he owns a condo downtown.
Liv.
He's also very modest.
Much as I appreciate the warm welcome that I never received, a little busy at the moment.
Who are you again?
Coppola? How's your wife, Kavanaugh?
Oh, she's just like, oh, what's this?
Fine.
Grandma.
Length's pretty straightforward, unlike Bazio, that two-timing wench.
Does Coyote have any facial hair? Beard? Stubble? Whiskers?
Whiskers.
Get it?
Because coyotes have whiskers.
Did he have a beard or not?
Oh,
No.
for crying out loud. You're not
Also,
entertaining. I love
Clive did not seem totally opposed to the idea of Michelle. He kind of pretended like he was, but I know when he thinks someone's cute.
Any freckles, moles, defining characteristics? Here it is.
That's him. He's perfect.
You're into this human zombie smuggler?
Oh no, this is Tim, my new boyfriend, and also probably the love of my life.
Oh my
I thought the love
god.
of my life was this other guy, Alan, but it turns out he was probably Annie's murderer. Talk about sliding doors.
He's done. He is done.
This guy Bruce was trying to do all that.
That's hard to say. What was her name? The victim.
Annie.
I wish she had found me instead.
Still be alive. Oh, she's gonna feel about
How do I find Bruce?
responsibility.
You get lucky. His people operate on the deep web. Almost
Ah.
impossible to trace.
So what do we do?
We cry. We mourn.
We're hoping he can ID the murderer.
Bruce. He runs with a really bad crew.
Oh no.
How?
They lure desperate people over the wall to kill them. Steal their brains, their organs, their phones, empty their bank accounts. Sometimes they'll ransom them to their loved ones at home, but they never send them back. And we never forget the Annies. Ever.
I can't accept that though. Someone has to be brought justice. Oh shit!
turn you back into a human. And do it the hard way. Just want to be.
Now,
The VC didn't get jack from me and Nam.
you're utilizing
You
the
won't be
cure
getting
as a
anything
torture device. Wow. Holy shit.
It looks like Bruce did this with all of his customers.
Mm.
And Annie was.
The one that got away. Or almost got away.
Yeah.
We're dealing with a serial killer.
Bloody hell. I mean, this, I guess, renegade of a renegade.
I thought fate was a bitch.
Yeah, to be continued. Ooh, I always love it when it ends on a TBC. Gives you that suspense, doesn't it? Yeah, it seems like that, that guy, yeah, obviously problematic with the fact that, you know, he's kind of got a habit for this shit, which is great. But yeah, it was very, very interesting with the brain Liv was on, as well as the dilemmas she had with Tim and all of that. So yeah, that was the brain that she's on this week was just really, really great stuff. But also, like I said, there were certain you know, issues like the fact that she saw Dale with someone. I feel like that's a mutually you know, agreeable situation that Clive allowed her to do so. Like she's obviously, I don't think she's cheating whatsoever. I think Clive and her, they had a little bit of a talk, and he knows the sitch about humans and zombies and the relationships there, and he's like, okay, well, why don't you do this? And so good stuff with this episode. It was just very, very fun to see Liv on the hopeless romantic brain that she was on in this week's episode, and assuming next week's, with this being a TBC. So yeah, that should be very, very fun to explore further, because it was a lot of fun. And I did notice that it seems like the brain she was on this week, it didn't seem to consume her entirely, if that makes sense. So yeah, I did definitely kind of notice that over the course of this episode. So you know, that is really, really beneficial, because of course there is running the risk on having that personality consume you entirely, of course, until it wears off, but still. Yeah, it seems like for this episode, Liv was pretty much A-okay. So yeah, although of course there was those emotional sentiments, weren't they, with the fact that Liv had a thing for Alan and then Tim. So yeah, no, but it was a lot of it was really, really a lot of fun. I just really loved I guess the whole nature of the personality she was on, because you had, you know, nice sweet music as you're just so fantasized about whether it be Alan or Tim play about. You had those close-ups, etc. I thought what they did in terms of making the I guess direction cater to the whole you know, hopeless romantic trope, it was just really, really well done. So yeah, it was a real great bout of fun, this episode. Even the whole bond, well, I say the bonding of Liv, Ravi and Peyton when they were, you know, dancing it out, and not just that though, but the whole makeover shtick that we had with Ravi, that was pretty solid as well. Yeah, though, this episode was a lot of fun, but it was also very, very sad to see, because you can definitely see how Seattle is having a very, very detrimental time at the minute in terms of, you know, we had Annie being taken in, and there was, of course, the running of the risk of her getting, you know, caught being smuggled in. Not just that though, but obviously we know that Bruce is a bit of a piece of work, and that's an understatement considering how there were 3 other skulls seemingly. There might have been a 4th, I'm not sure, but it looked like there were 3 there. So yeah, he's a serial killer, which is great. Yeah, I like how that's going to be a bit of a focus for the next episode, of course. So pretty interesting stuff there. But also in terms of how detrimental things are becoming in terms of what's happening in Seattle. I mean, you obviously had Blaine go back to his old ways, really, with the fact that he had someone brought and he's looking for Renegade. So I am a bit worried about the Renegade front because Blaine is going to be absolutely relentless. But yeah, he had that person brought in. He had information, and not just that though, but he went through seemingly before he became a zombie, he went through quite the ringer in life, and you have Blaine basically bribing him, saying, you can continue being a zombie if you want, but alternatively, I'm going to turn you back into a human. Didn't say anything about, eating on his brain or whatever, but yeah, so Blaine continuing to be back on his bullshit train, it seems, so that's really great. But yeah, we are definitely seeing the kind of detrimental effects of what's happening in Seattle. Like, especially with the whole, I don't know, the situation where we have a low supply of brains to, keep the zombies pacified, etc. Which, like I said, that seems like it was going to be an inevitable situation. That we would hit a point where it's getting a bit more dangerous for the zombies to keep their composure, I guess. Yeah, we're starting to see that with the fact that, what was it, 4 to 6 months? That's when the tank will be empty, apparently. So yeah, great stuff. And with Chase, he's trying his best to keep things smooth between the humans and the zombies, but it's dwindling badly. So oh boy. But I feel like with the end of the season, that's when things are going to be a breaking point, especially if it's like, 4 to 6 months. I think that's perfect timing as well in terms of the amount of episodes there are for this season, and the big finale, etc. Yeah, I feel like we kind of have an idea of where the finale will lead us towards once we do come to that point later this season. But yeah, I really liked how things were, and obviously we had Liv, and well, how she has her suspicions about Dale because she thinks that Dale is cheating, though I don't think it's simple as that. I was like, nah, that's not Dale cheating. They've probably, like, the most likely scenario is Dale and Clive, they had a little bit of a talk, and they agreed on an open relationship, and voila. So just because of the fact that with the human and zombie relationship, it's difficult to maintain that. So this is a bit of a compromise to kind of keep both parties happy and all of that. But I did like how Liv was trying to push that new officer on to Clive, yeah, at first I thought she was going to try and hit, like with Tim, and him seemingly being a lost cause because of the phone number waning out. I thought she was going to try and hit it off with that officer, to be fair, but yeah, so yeah, I don't think that Clive is being cheated on. They came to an understanding, and this is the compromise, really. So yeah, that's definitely going to get that's definitely going to come out in the next episode, surely. So yeah, but yeah, I really thought this was pretty fun stuff. Yeah, there was just a lot of things that really worked, especially the themes of in this episode that related to the whole hopeless romantic thing. It was just really, really great stuff. Like, especially Liv falling for Tim. Will she see him again? Who knows? But there's also a very, very sad scenario with poor Annie. Like, she was killed anyways, but it seemed like she was going to get a bit of a more brutal way of departing from this mortal coil. So, yeah, it is a very, very, very sad circumstance, isn't it, for what's going on with Annie. But no, I feel like as a whole, obviously things are still unresolved because Bruce is still out there, but as a whole, there was a very, very interesting story in terms of, obviously we're seeing the furthered detrimental effects of this whole border situation. I mean, we had the kid last week, and now this week we've got Annie, who was being snuck in by someone who is, you know, not too great in the sense that obviously he is affiliated to a group that is not interested in helping either party, really. So but they're more part of, like, I don't know, like a black market kind of group, really, in a sense. So yeah, but yeah, this was pretty fun stuff. I really loved it. It was enjoyable. The personality of the week was a great blast, especially some of the more quirkier scenes, like the whole makeover bit, and just seeing Ravi, Peyton, and Liv you know, throw it down. It's great to have those wholesome moments. Although I do definitely think that this might be me being a bit naive, but I do definitely think that they might be pushing for Peyton and Ravi again, maybe further down the line this season. I mean, fingers crossed, because I do love them two together, but we'll just have to wait and see what does happen. There is a part of me that's thinking, okay, well, they're going to get back with each other, right? Who knows? But yeah, pretty neat stuff in this episode. So I will see you guys next time. If you guys enjoyed this reaction, you can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Toodles!